Good morning. Welcome to Business 360, where business, markets, and the economy come into full view. I'm Margaux Salcedo, and this is the Bilyonaryo News Channel. The Energy Regulatory Commission gives Meralco the green light to recover 8.74 billion pesos in undercollected power costs over the next 3 years. The DICT is seeking a budget of 2.7 billion pesos next year to power digitalization initiatives such as the eGov app. We break this down with DICT Secretary Henry Aguda. And ICTSI's first half profit jumps 22% to nearly $590 million. After ordering Meralco to refund 9.51 billion pesos in overcollected charges, the Energy Regulatory Commission has now cleared the utility to recover about 8.74 billion pesos in undercollected power costs over the next 3 years. The charges cover Meralco's pass-through costs from 2011 to 2022. The biggest share, about 7.3 billion pesos, is in generation costs, to be collected at about 7 centavos per kilowatt hour. The rest covers transmission, system losses, and real property tax. The ERC also ordered a smaller refund of about 30 million pesos, covering franchise taxes, the senior citizen discount, and the lifeline subsidy. ERC Chairman Francis Saturnino Juan said these pass-through charges are not profit for Meralco, but costs it collects for power generators, the transmission provider, and the government. The Basis Conversion and Development Authority, the government agency behind Pax Silica, says it is ready for a Senate inquiry into the project. BCDA says it welcomes the Senate's oversight and is ready to provide the facts needed. This comes after Senator Amy Marcos called for a probe into Pax Silica, citing concerns over its impact on farmers, water, and power supply. Malacanang had this to say in response.
Hindi naman napipigil si Senator Amy sa kanyang mga gusto. At siguro mas maganda po na malaman niya kasi ang pinag-usapan dito ay mga farmers. 2019 pa, during the 2019 SEA Games, nagkaroon na po ng tinatawag nating buildable areas. Ito po ay allocated na since 2019. So, sa lugar na ito ay dapat wala ng farmers dahil ito po nga ay na-approve na bilang buildable zones.
BCDA, for its part, says it has set aside areas within New Clark City for modern agriculture to support farmers and Aita communities. The agency also notes it has allocated relocation areas within New Clark City for affected households. The Department of Finance is pushing a new tax package that would cut income taxes for millions of Filipinos while raising taxes on sweetened beverages, vapes, and other non-essential products. The proposed measure would give tax relief to more than 3.1 million taxpayers, mostly from the lower middle and middle income brackets, as well as 78,000 micro and small businesses. The measure would raise the annual income tax exemption from 250,000 to 350,000 pesos, while exempting small firms from the minimum corporate income tax. To help offset the cost, the DOF proposes higher taxes on sweetened beverages, e-cigarettes, alcohol, single-use plastics, and motor vehicles. A tax on wealth is also being considered. The package is expected to raise more than 518 billion pesos through 2030, leaving a net revenue gain of nearly 192 billion pesos. The DOF hopes the measure will be passed before year-end. Ahead of budget season, the Department of Information and Communications Technology is seeking 2.7 billion pesos for 2027 to fund the Marcos administration's digital push from the eGov PH app to digital infrastructure. Joining us this morning is DICT Secretary Henry Aguda. Good morning, Sec, and welcome to Business 360.
Good morning, Margaux. Good morning to your listeners, and thank you for the coffee. Sarap niya.
Good morning, sir. So you were highlighted by the President
Yeah.
at the State of the Nation address, and he in fact said that we are going for connectivity that is mas malakas, mas malawak, at mas mura.
Tama.
And what is your reaction to this praise from the President?
Well, the President is just fulfilling the promise that he gave a year ago na nagsona siya, that we will provide better internet service to the Filipinos and no Filipino left behind. So, mas malakas. UCLA study shows na bumilis na yung internet natin across the Philippines. Yung mas malawak, early this year, the President launched the direct-to-cell together with Globe Telecoms. Nagkataon na si Globe lang yung una, next year yung mga ibang telco maglo-launch na. Direct-to-cell allows your cell phone to be a sat phone pag wala kang cell site. So practically, anywhere in the territory of the Philippines, whether bundok o dagat yan, you can have cell service. So yan yung mas malawak. Yung mas mura. Ang sukatan ko, kapag gumaganda na yung presyo ng internet service, yung mga data service, yung mga nagtatrabaho using data. Sino ba yan? Yung mga delivery service, taxi service. And right now, for 99 pesos per week, you get unlimited data na. So talagang bumaba. And the credit also goes to our telco partners. They answered the call of the President to provide better and more affordable internet service to our mga kababayan. So it's a whole of country approach.
This would be very good for students also. I understand
yes.
before you had a big plan also to
Yes.
Wi-Fi up all of the schools nationwide.
Yes. So that's a program that the President put together with the ICT and DepEd. So ang task niya is within the year, before his SONA, we should be 99% connected na lahat ng mga DepEd schools. And today, I'd love to announce to you na 99% na yan. Now, bakit hindi 100? Kasi minsan may mga schools na bago na natatayo, hindi namin makount. So 99%, meaning you go as far as Batanes to Tawi-Tawi, yung mga schools like yung Badjao Floating School in Basilan, kahit na walang kuryente noon because we did solar and battery, 50 students were able to do online learning while we're doing teleconferencing with Seksani and the President.
That's great. And
Yep.
how are you able to bring it to those islands, Sec? Satellites?
First, to bring the equipment there, we have a lot of very dedicated and brave DICT engineers. Literally, they will swim, they will climb mountains together with our partners that provide the satellite connectivity. So yes, the technology of satellite connectivity right now is such that it can provide very reliable and robust connectivity to far-flung places.
That's great, Sec. So with all of these achievements, maybe the Department of Budget and Management and Congress can already increase your budget. As you heard earlier in the news, there's a
Yes.
request specifically for the eGov app for 2.7 billion. Will we really need that? And are you set? Have you spoken with the Department of Budget and Management? What are we looking forward to next week?
Well, you know naman, the DBM has always been very supportive of the line agencies. And I can confidently say na Secretary Kim right now has provided the necessary support for us to get the budget. So our NEP has been approved and it has grown by close to about 7% in the previous NEP. So total budget is close to about 18 billion. 2.7 is part of that. And we are set for congressional deliberation on our budget by August 17. So we don't see any problem getting the necessary budget for our execution for next year.
As you can see in the news, it was also mentioned that there's going to be a hearing also on PAC Silica.
Oh, yes.
And this is also mentioned by the President in his State of the Nation address. There are people who are, you would be the expert on this because the President has said that they're determined to make this a kind of AI hub.
Yes.
Have they consulted with the DICT on this?
Of course, it's a multi-agency initiative. It's a whole-of-government approach. And ito lang, siguro let's look at the objective of PAC Silica. One, jobs talaga, nakafocus yan. When we met with the proponents of PAC Silica, I mean, how can you not consider a proposal where it will provide close to about 500,000 additional jobs? I think the estimates right now are between 180 to 500,000. Siyempre, pag ganyan yung napag-usapan trabaho, magmamadali tayo. I mean, it redounds to the benefit of mga kababayan. Issue on the environment. yung mga concerns are well received kasi issue sa tubig. Ayaw nating mawalan ng tubig ang mga kababayan natin. Pero in fact, Silica, yung mga AI facilities doon na itatayo, tawag doon water-cooled. Kinakabahan yung mga tao pag sinabing water-cooled. Baka itapon yung tubig. Hindi, actually, the water is recycled. And there is such a thing as desalination. So may mga ibang AI hubs na will take tubig dagat, lilinisin, tapos i-recycle pa yan. In fact, it might be a source of potable drinking water for the community. On the power, karamihan ng locators are exploring opportunities of them putting up their power. So it adds to the power grid also. And pinag-aaralan niya ng DNR, DOE, DICT of course, and DTI. Para when they locate there, we get the jobs that we badly need, the economic benefit to having another industry located in the Philippines without the environmental impact.
One of the concerns, I think, Secretary, is the data centers. And in the United States, in different states, there's been a lot of opposition to data centers. Maybe you could enlighten us on how a data center actually works. Are there actually already other data centers in the Philippines? And if they put up data centers in Pac Silica, or maybe you could tell us if they will, how many will this be and what will be the impact?
So, two big ones that I know of, 50 megawatt, the one that the MVP group built in Laguna, okay naman siya. It's running, it's working. It's the same hyperscaler that the other locators will bring to Clark. Then there's one in Angeles naman, through Converge, an 80 megawatt facility. So it's there. Hindi na to bago. Hindi to isang bagay na hindi pa natin napag-aaralan. Now, yung mga issue sa ibang bansa, ang nangyari kasi baka hindi na pagplanuhan mabuti eh. And in other cities, na pinagbabawal nila yung data center, nakakabit sila diretso dun sa community grids. And they're experiencing power issues. Tayo naman, pag-aaralan na natin yan. We will avoid making the same mistakes. That's why the Department of Energy is doubling down on forecasting the right amount of power that will be for the community and for the Pac Silica locators.
Are we ready? President Marcos stated that this is going to make the Philippines poised to become an AI hub.
Yes. So last year pa kami nagplano dyan. So ano ba ang kailangan mo to become a hub? Connectivity. We have so many international fiber optic cable going through the Philippines. The Philippines kasi is strategically located between the Pacific and the West Philippine Sea. And that is the transition point between the US and ASEAN and vice versa. Real estate, location. Ang ganda ng location natin.
Kaso lang inaagaw po yung West Philippine Sea
Nako.
sa atin. Paano po ba yun? Can you comment on that?
On a personal note, that has been a mission of mine since I was in law school. Me and my sister, actually helped in the UNCLOS 72 justification. So my sister is a geologist. She did the study on the continental shelf. I was then a legal researcher of the late Dean Magallona. And pinaglamad namin yung atin ang Kalayaan Islands, atin yung Spratlys patawag nila dati noon. Both from a geological scientific study, which my sister did, and from a legal study, talagang atin yan. It cannot be, and that's why we won the arbitral award. So tayo naman, from a DICT standpoint, we're trying to figure out how we can secure the fiber optic cable na dumadaan dyan. Kasi right now, people just look at the island groups, di ba, sa problem. Pero underneath is, under the continental shelf itself, may mga international fiber optic cable na nandun that we want to secure as well.
And how are we in that plan?
Meron tayong collaboration with the Department of Defense natin, also the other telcos. We're vigilant in making sure na any fiber cut can be explained. More so that we can predict any future issues with our fiber cables. Kasi yan yung yan yung next valuable asset natin. Hindi lang yung freedom of navigation over the sea, but also the fiber cable that brings valuable data crossing our country. Dapat ma-secure din natin yun. Above the water and below the water.
Okay, so you mentioned above the water, below the water, and now let's go to outer space.
Oh, outer
Si
space.
President Marcos mentioned his son of the rocket. Of course, that's going to entail a lot of technology.
Yes,
Could you comment on that? Can we do it? Can we send a rocket to space?
Oh, yeah. So, I was in Cebu recently, no? In Lapu-Lapu. And I met Mayor Chan and Congressman Chan. And sila nagkwento sa akin, in Cebu, in the Visayas, they're already doing rocket launches. May maraming rocket hobbies doon. And I saw the rockets magaganda. Yun naman gagawin natin sa Cagayan is a more industrialized rocket. It is from South Korea, a company called Perigi. And as we speak right now, they're assembling the facility. This is not the first... South Korea.
So baka pupunta po sa rocket kasama ang Bini tsaka ang BTS.
Pero sigurado ka makinis yung rocket pagka doon ginamit. Now, this is a long program. Our ambition is to be able to launch satellite from the Philippines na. Tinitignan din po tayo ng mga other satellite providers if we're able to launch near the equator, which we are. Location, di ba? From a fiber optic cable, nasa gitna tayo ng dalawang malaking dagat, from a satellite and rocket launch positioning, we are near the equator. Ang paglo-launch kasi sa equator, makakatipid sila sa gasolina or sa fuel. Pag nag-launch kasi sila outside the equator, mas malaking nagagastos nila. So it's more economical to launch from the Philippines. And in Cagayan, it provides a very good launching facility. There's an international airport. If you launch the rocket, papunta sa dagat. And it's a place where it's protected from storms through the mountains. Sierra Madre.
So this can be a
siya.
BBM legacy.
Yes. So sabi nga ni Presidente, di ba, next year. So ngayon, we have a lot of very smart scientists in the Philippine Space Agency. Yung mga yan, mga iba nagtrabaho sa NASA. So they came back to the Philippines for that ambition na makapag-launch tayo. Dapat isa na tayo sa mga una sa ASEAN. Kasi other ASEAN countries have already put together a plan to launch it in space.
That's great.
Tsaka maganda ba yung mga nung bata tayo, gusto natin maging astronaut? Baka sakali, yung mga kabataan natin ngayon, we give them a new dream.
A new dream.
Oo, the dream that we dreamt when we were young, na gusto namin maging rockstar,
Maging
kung di man astronaut o kaya Astro Boy.
But
Baka
sir,
pwede na sila.
so when we were children, we were dreaming that, but like, you know, when you grow up, you end up working at BPOs.
Oo.
I remember that one of the topics that you had discussed in the past was greater employment for our BPOs.
Yes.
And how is the DICT supporting that?
Well, hindi lang DICT, kasama ang TESDA, Office of the President, and DTI. Last year, kinabahan kami because of the AI phenomenon. But true enough, through the collaboration of government and the BPO sector, the employment increased by 80,000 headcount. That's end of 2025. Mga 8, if I remember it, 8 to 10%. One of the biggest contributor to the GDP. One of the biggest dollar earners natin. In 2026, akala namin baka bumaba. Last update I had with the IBPAP, the organization of the BPOs, we're still on track to adding another 80,000 jobs. So pag sinuma total mo, 24-25, 160,000 jobs. And these are high-value jobs. So, pero we're not being complacent. Alam natin yung phenomena ng AI medyo unpredictable. So, ngayon pa lang, nag-aahanda na kami for 2027. Ano yung mga darating sa 27? Baka robotics. So, we're now working with the Japanese government to entice robotics companies from Japan to outsource the robotics training here in the Philippines, given the fact that we're a very big BPO center.
Sir, as one of our final questions, I understand that you have a Philippine AI master plan,
yes.
as well as a national digital connectivity plan.
Yes.
What is the status now? Where are we in terms of these plans? And do you think we can actually be a great AI hub, maybe following like Singapore?
Oh, definitely yes. Ang kailangan na lang dyan is to continue the political will that the President has shown. Itutuloy-tuloy lang natin yan. Execution naman is left to the line agencies. The National Digital Connectivity Plan is the first infrastructure master plan of the country. That is in pagsunod dun sa EO 72 ni Presidente. Then sinundan natin yan ng Philippine AI Infrastructure Master Plan, which was supported by ADB. So execution na tayo. Yung Digital Master Plan, Connectivity Master Plan, kasama na dyan yung pag-approve ng KP, Konektadong Pinoy, yung pag-harmonize natin
at yung
cell site.
PhilSys.
At yung PhilSys.
Yung ID na gagamitin na po sa lahat.
Tama. Yung mga bangko, i-adapt na yan. Susunod yung mga SIM registration. So we have the two master plans. You need to plan, but then you need to execute. So we now have the two master plan. We're now executing. We have 2 years to execute as much as we can.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And just as your final statement po, are we really able to make our connectivity mas malakas, mas malawak, and mas mura?
Yes, definitely. And yan pagsunod sa utos ng Pangulo na no Filipino left offline. So in the end, gusto namin konektado kay lahat.
Thank you so much, Secretary Henry Aguda, and bravo on the great job that you're doing po at DICT.
Thank you.
Up next, BPI is banking on corporate lending while expanding its use of artificial intelligence to drive growth. Stay with us, you're watching Business 360. Welcome back to Business 360. I'm Margaux Salcedo. Two of the country's corporate heavyweights post mixed first-half results. BPI's earnings dip on heavier provisions, while ICTSI's profit surges on stronger port volumes. Jillian Geronimo has today's top corporate stories.
BPI is betting on big business to drive its growth this year. The bank is targeting 8 to 10% growth in corporate loans this year, powered by project financing and a surging power sector. It's staying selective on Metro Manila real estate, hunting instead for opportunities beyond the capital. And to keep pace, BPI is handing some of the work to artificial intelligence, piloting AI to fast-track auto loan approvals before rolling it out to other products. Still, it's not all smooth sailing. First half net income dipped to 32.8 billion pesos after the bank set aside more cash for possible credit losses. BPI is also tightening the screws on small business lending after spotting signs of stress. But it expects a stronger second half and says those extra provisions may not be needed if the economy improves. ICTSI extended its growth streak after first-half profit jumped 22% to nearly $590 million. The port operators said higher container volumes and new terminals helped drive the strong results. Consolidated cargo volumes handled rose 16%, boosted by stronger trade and contributions from new terminals. Excluding a one-time charge from the sale of its China terminal, core first-half profit grew 25% to $604.69 million. The company said its global port network helped offset challenges in some markets. ICTSI said it will continue expanding its ports and investing in new capacity. Aboitiz Power has started building its largest solar project in the Visayas in Negros Occidental. The 239-megawatt peak solar plant will include a 65-megawatt battery storage system and is targeted for completion by 2028. The project will expand the company's renewable energy capacity in the region. The company said it will help strengthen its renewable energy portfolio. Jillian Geronimo, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
And that's Business 360. I'm Margaux Salcedo. Thank you for joining us. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.